I have a rule called the one door at a time rule. Now, I know it sounds strange. It doesn't exactly sound like a lifelong philosophy. It sounds more like something a handyman would say. And it kind of came from there. So stick with me for a second. A while back, I had two doors in my house that needed fixing. My door and my roommate's door. The house had settled a little bit over time, and both doors had started sticking in the middle of the summer. Nothing major. The fix was simple. Replace a few screws, make a few adjustments, and everything would work properly again. The problem wasn't knowing how to fix them. The problem was finding the energy. Like many people, my days are busy. I'm often leaving before the sun comes up and getting home after it goes down. By the time the evening arrives, the last thing I want to do is start a home improvement project. One evening, I finally decided to tackle it. I grabbed my tools, started working on my door, and what should have been a quick project took a little longer than expected. Isn't that always how it kind of goes? A 5-minute task somehow becomes 30 minutes, possibly 45. Eventually, it got fixed. And as I stood there looking at my newly functioning door, another thought immediately entered my mind. Well, now I should go fix the other door, too. You know that voice. The voice that never lets you celebrate one accomplishment because it's already reminding you of the next thing to do. The voice says, you answered one email? Great. You still have 20 more to go. You finished one project? Wonderful. Here's 3 more. You crossed one thing off your list? Don't worry. There's plenty left to do. I was tired, though, and I didn't want to fix another door. And that's when my rule showed up. One door at a time. That's it. Just one door. The other door could wait until tomorrow. And suddenly I felt lighter. Because the truth is, most of the stress doesn't come from the thing we're doing. It comes from all the things we're thinking about while we're doing it. We're washing dishes while worrying about work. We're answering emails while thinking about laundry. We're trying to enjoy family dinner while mentally reviewing tomorrow's work schedule. We're constantly carrying 10 doors when life only requires us to fix one at a time. And eventually the weight becomes overwhelming. We become paralyzed, not because the tasks are impossible, but because we've combined them into one giant mountain. We convince ourselves that if we can't do everything, we shouldn't start anything. But progress doesn't work that way. Nobody climbs a mountain all at once. Nobody reads a book all in one go. Nobody builds a career, a business, a relationship, or a meaningful life all at once. Everything worthwhile is built one step at a time. One page, one conversation, one workout, decision, one door. The funny thing is, the next night, I had another 5 or 10 minutes, and guess what? I fixed the second door. No stress, no panic, no overwhelmedness. My roommate wasn't that worried. And here's what I realized. A week later, nobody remembered which door got fixed first, or that it took 2 nights instead of 1. Nobody cared about the order. Nobody was keeping score. The doors worked, and life moved on. And yet so often we create pressure that doesn't exist. We tell ourselves we have to get everything done today. Everything solved this week. Every goal accomplished immediately. But life rarely demands that pace. Most of the time, it simply asks us to keep moving. One step, one task, one door. So if you're feeling overwhelmed right now, if you're staring at a to-do list that kind of seems impossible, if you're carrying the weight of everything that still needs to happen, I want you to remember this. You do not have to fix every door today. You do not have to solve every problem. You do not have to carry the entire week, month, or year right now. You only have to do the next thing. The one thing in front of you. The one door. Because progress isn't made by people who finish everything at once. Progress is made by people who start and then continue one door at a time.